Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Maimunah Farah Farhana binti Mohamed. Today I would like to present my slide, which is Viva. I choose topic strategies in recovering a project in Johor from perspective of rescue developer. For the next slide is a background of the research. Based on the study conducted, an abandoned project is a project that failed to be complete by the developer within the period of the sale and purchase agreement, and there was no significant activity at the construction site for a period of 6 months continuously. In addition, the bonded project, which is developer has been one out has gone bankrupt under the Companies Act, which is a new rule 2019 state that this is mean that the developer can no longer continue the construction of the housing project due to financial problem. However, based on the Eng Hao 2011 stated that a bounded project can be defined as a project which has been one is totally abounded, second is indefinitely delayed for the purpose of this study. Abandonment may happen at any stage of a project life cycle and incur a significant amount of loss. Based on the identification of topic, which is I choose a strategy in recovering about the project in Johor from perspective of rescue developer. Why I'm choose in Johor? Because I'm stay in Johor, so easy to me to access the conducted of this research. Okay, next for the next slide is a research statement or problem statement. The problem of abandoned project in Malaysia is a very worrying because the number of abandoned project, especially made project undertaken by private company, is increased and the government cannot afford to repair all the project at the same time. This is due to the developer who think too much about profit, so that he failed to complete the project on time while the buyer has already paid the deposit for the house. And the last is the National Housing Department has recorded a total 26 abandoned project private housing project in the rehabilitation planning category, which is the overall abandoned project have a negative impact on the developer company, socio-economy, environment, and the country. Based on the aim and the objective of the research is this study aims to explore the strategies that influence the rescue developer in recovering about the project in Johor. Several objectives derived as follow. The first one is to identify the challenger for rescue developer in recovering about the project. And the second is to explore the influence factor for rescue developer in recovering the project. And the last one is to analyze the strategy for rescue developer in recovering the bounded project. Okay, the next slide is research methodology and research design. This section shows several research methods adopted by previous study on the project list. Most of the research use quantitative method, which is Shabi 2017, Nagami 2016, Noor 2017, Arusli 2017, whereas three another research use mixed method, which is Olulusi 2012, Demo 2015, Ho 2013, and only two using qualitative, which is Okri 2017 and Mumin 2016. Meanwhile, the research decided that the qualitative method and interview is the most suitable to conduct this study. Qualitative method is the most suitable method in identify the phenomena or element of this research deeply. This is because the important elements such as a factor and causes sought in the research are required respondents to share on the factor influence from their point of view, which is therefore semi-structured interview were selected as a research instrument and only qualitative method were selected as a research methodology. Based on the scope and limitation, this research will be focused identify the factors that influence a rescue developer in rehabilitating abandoned project in Johor. The focus of this study is influenced by the question of how they reduce abandoned project in Johor by marketing them among developer. And the final focus is what the best strategy for rescue developer in recovering the abandoned project. Meanwhile, the researchers choose Johor as the case study of my case study of my study, which is because Johor is the second higher abundant project among other states, and it is the residence of the researcher because it's make it easy for the researcher to conduct the study. The next slide is tip of analysis. On 11 September 2019, the state government is committed to completing the sixth Taman Siti Indah project, which has been abandoned for the past 7 years. Kumpulan Prasarana Rakyat Johor, which is KPRJ, has been appointed as the rescue developer to complete all 427 housing units there. KPRJ will continue the construction work on the sixth Taman Siti Indah project, has started in construction work in stage. Meanwhile, construction work to complete is a 196 unit of house in Phase 3B. Taman Siti Indah has begun. It is expected that the construction for the phase will take 7 months and another 3 months for the Certificate of Completion and Compliance (CCC) application process. Then it will be followed by phases 3A unit, 95 unit and phase 2 which is 136 unit. So far, the construction of the project uh, is at a level between 95 to 90%. In addition, it is estimated that the cost of completion the six project there is about 26 million. The issue of the developer failed to complete the house in Taman Siti Indah has come to the attention of the Johor state government after its construction was abandoned 7 years ago. For the finding and discussion, which is I have three objectives, which is the factor, the challenges, and also the strategies. So the first is the factor. Based on the first factor in the management factor, where all respondents agree that the management factor is a very influential in all type of project construction organization, especially for developer who take over an important project such as embedded project because managed management strategy will ensure success for each project planning. For the second factor is the inception stage, which is where this factor emphasizes all the initial steps that must be taken before starting the construction process of a bounded project, such as identifying all issues related to the project site, land, seeking cooperation with all parties involved and others. Not only that, the rescue developer also placed a great emphasis on the building project factor in ensuring that every information data related to the bounded project from the beginning of construction until the moment it is abounded is not dropped so that every problem related to the building can be identified and every corner of the construction project can be repaired successfully. For the challenges, the first challenges is the difficult in gaining the buyer trust about the housing unit. The second challenges is the change in building requirement where the approval of building project requirement by the local authority is very important in the early stage of construction. These first two challenges has been considered as the main challenges because most rescue developer will face the same problem, namely the difficulty of gaining the trust and confidence of unit buyer and change in the requirement for each development of facility and building by local authority. For the strategies, KPRJ vision and mission is the main reason for the project to run smoothly. If a skilled developer, it will do the job according to a well-made plan. While the objective to achieve the set target has already become a reality, in addition, high quality and a reliable infrastructure is also an approach pressed by KPLJ in recovering this abandoned project. Various effective tactics are also done so that all the repair work goes smoothly. This being the case, strategic planning is very important in recovering abandoned project. for the conclusion, the problem, country housing sector must be resolved immediately and more carefully by all the parties, especially by the government, rescue developer. In this case study, the action of making preliminary study more thoroughly by the rescue developer before agreeing to take over the abandoned project. This is important so that the rescue developer can identify whether the abandoned project be taken over has good potential to be repair or not and identify whether the abandoned project has all those factors that contribute to the project's success. Furthermore, the government should exhibit more decisive and consistent action through the Ministry of Housing and Local Government. At the same time, home buyers should be wise to exercise judgment by buying a home from a developer who is already known for the good reputation in building a home instead of looking at the price alone. The last but not least, based on the significant or applied value of this research, this study can benefit for main parties, namely the government and developer, especially in the process of taking over and restoring a bounded project. Reader and others research among the importance of this study to be government in that the ministry needs to further diversify in effort to reduce the number of abandoned projects which is increasing from years to years in Malaysia. A fact that can be highlight the collection and distribution of funds to developers who are willing to take over a bonded project, which in turn can reduce the bundle of risky developer. Uh, Next, this finding provide a clear summary which can be used as a reference to rescue developer in the process of restoring abandoned housing project. Rescue developer appointed that to take over abandoned project housing should refer to this study to identify important factors that need to be addressed before abandoned project can proceed. Apart from developer and the government, readers who want to know more about the issues of abandoned project will benefit from the finding of this report. Reader will get a real picture and a clear understanding of the issues of abandoned project and a corrective action by developers rescue participation of abandoned housing project. That's all from me. Thank you so much.